Speaking a foreign language must not be a privilege anymore. In this millennium, the new illiterate is a person that doesn't speak a foreign language. But beyond obvious work and educative opportunities, learning foreign languages is a healthy exercise for our brain. This has been proven by recent studies of psychiatry at the University of California in LA. When you speak a foreign language, your cognitive functions improve, as well as your intelligence, your perception, and your memory. When a human being is born, he or she has 100,000 million neurons that have very little contact with each other. But with the simplest experience, they activate brain circuits that create connections between them in a process called synapses. When an experience is repeated frequently, the brain connections are stabilized and the experience becomes part of the knowledge of the individual. That is how knowledge models the brain. During the first 2 years of life and until the age of 7, the development of these connections increases in a fast and progressive way. But then it decreases, and it almost stops at the end of the first infancy, in a process known as plasticity of the brain. For these reasons, there are skills that if we don't develop during our first infancy, we won't be able to do it later, and the opportunity is lost forever. Let's see why. Each cognitive experience represents a neural network, like a road of information. What happens if in our infancy we do not create enough communication road links? When acquiring a new knowledge and not being enough room for it to travel, this knowledge would have difficulties to flow correctly. That is why, if at an early age we'll build a great number of communication road links, the traffic of information will be agile and permanent. Thus, polyglottism makes each language create an independent road, facilitating the development of skills like logics, mathematics, and music, among others. When you speak a foreign language, you use in a different way the small muscles of your ears and the associated nervous brain circuits. The ear is the one that controls the voice, the one that influences thoughts and structures of language, involving the entire nervous system. When we are born, our ears are open to all the frequencies of language, but nevertheless, in time, the ear only synchronizes the common frequencies of the linguistic environment that surrounds it, and this means the native language. The voice only reproduces the sounds that the ear can receive. That is why, after some time, when you try to learn a foreign language, it is difficult to memorize it and to pronounce the words. For this reason, repetition reinforces the learning process. The Polyglot Baby method utilizes professional native speakers so the children pick up and get used to the perfect pronunciation of each one of the 7 languages. Besides, the music of the soundtrack of our method is rich in sound elements and musical textures that cover the entire musical spectrum. This is why the Polyglot Baby method is a complete tool for educative, visual, auditory, olfactory, and tactile stimulation. This means that it is 100% sensorial, and therefore the education is more effective. At Baby Star Editorial, we consider that our children are the future of our society, and they deserve to get the appropriate education in the right time, so they can acquire and have a good command of the basic language skills. As parents, guides, and teachers, it is our duty to accompany our children in their first steps on the road of languages and to open the doors to success in the future for them. It is in our hands to make the difference.